Welcome back to another edition of Our City. A few things going around the city of Elizabeth this week. On Wednesday, January 31st, around 5 o'clock, I'm going to be at a multi-chamber networking event. It's held at the Gallopin Hill Caterers in Union. There will be 9 local chambers of commerce getting together and to network and meet fellow business professionals. For more information, please call the Greater Elizabeth Chamber at 908-355-7600. And on Thursday, February 1st at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm going to join Councilwoman Patricia Perkins Auguste and Elizabeth residents in raising the African American flag in front of City Hall in honor of African American History Month, which is the month of February. And on Saturday, February 3rd at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the 24th annual Hoops to End Homelessness basketball tournament will be held at the Elizabeth High School Dunn Sports Arena. The Coalition to House the Homeless. This event kicks off at 2 o'clock in the afternoon with Elizabeth Police Department, the Union County Sheriff's Office. At 3:30 in the afternoon, Elizabeth High School girls will play the Essex County North 13th Street Technical School girls team. And the final game will be at 5 o'clock in the evening with Elizabeth High School boys versus St. Mary's High School of the City of Elizabeth. For more information, please call 908-355-2060. That's 355-2060. And on Tuesday, February 6th at 5 o'clock in the evening, we will be in City Council chambers presenting a proclamation in honor of African American History Month in front of the City Council. If you need more information concerning these events or any other events, please call our Public Information Office at 908-820-4124. And please stay with us after these messages. We'll be back with more on Our City.
Why do we like it here? Let's just say the reasons are diverse. Kean University.
Welcome back to Our City, and I'm pleased to be joined by Miss Shannyn Belser, who is a junior at St. Mary's High School. Shannyn, welcome.
Welcome. Thank you.
And Mr. Cashmir Muroski, who is a social studies teacher, right?
Correct, sir. Yes, sir.
That used to be history?
Used to be history, still is history.
Still is history. Now it's social studies, right?
Political science.
So, how long have you been there, Cashmir?
37 years, something.
Oh,
38 maybe.
I've been out a little longer than that. I went there, but I got out, I shouldn't say, but it's more than 37 years. So, Shannyn, you're a junior in high school.
Yes.
And your favorite subject these days?
Well, I enjoy math, but also I like varieties of science that involve math, such as chemistry and physics.
That's out of my league, you know. Yeah. They still teach you what a mole is?
A mole?
Yeah.
Yes.
What is that? 6 times 10 to the 23rd?
Something like that.
Oh, I figured you would know. I mean, it's the only thing I remember from St. Mary's is what is a mole? It's a number. 6 times 10 to the 23rd power? It's a really big number.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. Well, I'll figure it out someday. We'll both leave this show and figure out what a mole is.
Okay.
So junior year is crucial the most due to college planning. What are the top schools you're thinking about attending?
I plan on attending a historical black university college.
Are you not a Negro College Fund school?
Huh?
The United Negro College Fund, one of those
No.
schools? No, historical black college.
Yes.
I think they're part of the United Negro College Fund too.
I'm not sure.
All right, but I think we can get the reason I say that, I think we can help you with scholarships.
Oh, yes. My top school is Howard University in Washington, D.C., my mom's alma mater. Yes. I would also like to attend Loyola or Tampa University for their forensics program. I would like to major in forensics. And then I would like to attend Lincoln University in PA.
So you have a plan.
Yes.
Now, we're here to talk about a Broadway performance.
Yes.
And you got involved in Hamilton.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about that.
Well, my history teachers, Mr. Muroski and Miss Brogan, they they received an email from the Gilder Lehrman Institute of American History, which offered my class, my junior class, to attend Alexander Hamilton play on Broadway.
So I happened to see the Hamilton play. What did you think of it?
Yes, it was great. I loved it. I would love to relive that moment.
So I got to ask Mr. Muroski, who teaches this stuff.
Yeah.
What did you think of telling the story about Alexander Hamilton in rap music?
It worked out really great. To do it in modern form that the students could really appreciate, doing it that way, I thought it was a great idea. I thought it was a great success. It was well done.
You got to be the man in the room.
You got to be the man in the room.
Remember that song? I do
The
that
room
every
where it
day.
happens.
The room where it happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? I love that song. Lin-Manuel Miranda is probably an extremely special writer, because the one before that, Living in the Heights, or
Yes, something like that.
Something like that. He did a great job on that play as well. So, did you know anything about Alexander Hamilton before you went to the play?
Yes, I knew quite a lot since I took.
Mr. Muroski taught you all that?
Yes,
Yeah, give me credit. He's sitting here.
Also, I took American History Honors last year, which involved him and to be studied. He was in the lesson plan.
So, what do you know about Alexander Hamilton?
Well,
This is not their midterm, so you could just wing it.
well, he was the Secretary of Treasury for the United States.
He basically set up our whole financial system.
Yes. I learned what I didn't know, like all the stuff that happened in the play. Most of this I didn't know about.
About the Schuyler sisters?
Yes, I didn't know anything about that.
Did you know how he died before the play?
No, I didn't. Yes, I did. Aaron Burr.
Yeah.
Yes.
It was a duel.
Yes.
And you know where?
I forget.
Weehawken, New Jersey.
Weehawken, New Jersey.
Yeah, there's a spot up there on the water
Yes.
where the duel actually. Hamilton came over from New York to meet Aaron Burr.
Yes, as we were on the bus, Mr. Muroski showed us that it was near.
Because the Lincoln Tunnel is by Weehawken, and as I indicated to the students on the bus that Hamilton had been shot not that far from where we were at that moment.
I think he was there.
Almost.
Oh, he might have been there at that time. He's been around that long. No, I'm only kidding. So my notes tell me that you chose the topic called the Whiskey Rebellion.
Yes.
So tell me about the Whiskey Rebellion.
Well, I chose the Whiskey Rebellion because it was the most intriguing and interesting topic to me. I learned about it last year. It was Alexander Hamilton signed off on the Whiskey Rebellion so that it would be like taxes on whiskey.
Correct.
Yes.
So Alexander Hamilton set up the taxes on whiskey.
Yes.
But then there was a rebellion.
Yes.
And how did that get stopped?
Basically, Federalists and the colonists, they went at it.
Well, it's the first time in the history of the country where President Washington actually ordered the troops to put down a protest.
Yes.
The second time that happened was in the Civil War. And the third time it happened was when President Eisenhower sent troops to Little Rock High School to make sure that the Little Rock Nine, who were all African American, could desegregate Central High in Arkansas. It's not very often that presidents have used the National Army locally.
Yes.
Is what I'm getting at. It was the first time, the Whiskey Rebellion. And you did this to rap?
Yes.
Oh yeah? You gonna rap a song for me? No. You're gonna not do that now. After the camera's over with.
Okay.
So, did you write it all?
Yes, I did.
You did. And where was it performed?
I performed it at the
Richard Rogers Theater
Yes, in Broadway.
in Broadway, New York.
On Broadway. So alone?
Yes, on stage alone.
On stage alone.
Yes.
You seem like such. You're so shy and reserved here today, but in front of all those people, what did you do?
Well, the thought of being on stage was like thrilling and exciting, but the moment grew closer, and I was reading on the bus, reciting it over and over again. My hands got clammy, And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's coming. And then I'm on stage, backstage, and they're like, you're next. I'm like, oh gosh. And then,
So was it during intermission of the Hamilton show, or was it on your own at the Richard Rogers Theater?
it was a...
It was a morning program.
Yeah.
A student from approximately 15 schools in the New York area performed as part of a morning program. And then the Hamilton show was a matinee in the afternoon.
Oh, so you were able to perform in the morning at the Richard Rogers Theater
Yes.
with other schools, and then stay for the play.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, fascinating! And how many classmates or whatever went over with you?
We had 27, I believe it was 27 students, 3 chaperone teachers, and there were 1,000 other students from other schools.
Is that the first time you saw the Hamilton play? Or
Yes, the first and only time.
Yes.
And it was great.
I was fortunate to see it the first week it came out.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I was fortunate to see it before the ticket prices went to $1,000 a ticket. I'm a student of history, and when it came out, I said to my wife, we have to see this play. And my wife says, really? You want me to go to this history play? I said, I'm telling you, it's going to be a great play. And as soon as we left there, we knew that this play was going to set some records, and it has.
Yes.
I don't see it going off Broadway anytime soon. So, how were you graded on your performance at Richard Rogers, or was it fun to do?
Yes, it was extremely fun. I worked with 3 other students, and I worked with 3 other classmates together, but I worked on my project independently.
And so, it's a unique assignment. I've never heard. I mean, when I was your age, we had to do a history project, but it was bricks and mortar and stuff. I didn't do so well in it. So, this sounds to be like a lot more fun, where you can create a play out of it. So it's fairly unique. So, how did the idea come to you?
Well, I was researching online, and I see like other students from different schools performing historical, like, raps and songs from historical events. So that's where I got the idea from. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do my own thing and make it into a rap.
And how long is it?
It's, I
About 2
believe,
minutes.
yeah, a little bit.
They didn't
2
want
minutes.
any of the acts to be over 2 minutes, so
Right.
we had a deadline.
So, why don't you come during the African American proclamation that we're doing in city council chambers and perform it
Where is that?
in city council chambers?
Okay.
So, after the show, if we work out the date and time, would you come and do that?
Yes, I
You would?
definitely will.
Oh, this way I get to see it.
Yes.
So I'm being selfish here. You know, there'll be a group of people there in city council chambers, and you can perform the thing that you did at the Richard Rogers Theater. We can invite Mr. Muroski if he wants to come,
I would love to.
and you can do this. And
Yes.
Councilwoman Perkins Auguste will introduce you, and we can all hear it. A lot of the citizens can hear it.
Yes.
So where did you practice?
I practice in school. I
In the
stood-
shower? And
Yes,
in the
everywhere.
kitchen, in the living room?
I stood in front of my peers in class,
You
and
did?
I did it as if I was on stage in front of my mom and my brother in the mirror over and over again.
And it worked out really well.
Yes.
So the feeling on performing on Broadway.
It was scary, but afterwards I felt accomplished.
Okay. And senior year is right around the corner, and you got to focus. Do you want to do something like this, or you want to strictly go into STEM? You want to do this as a hobby?
Yes. No, actually, no. This is like the first time.
Oh, this is
and
it, huh?
Yes.
So, before we close, Mr. Muroski, what are your thoughts on, as a teacher, on her performance?
I was very impressed by the originality of her composition, by the wording and timing of it. For a student to be able to bring that level of expertise to translate history into the modern language like that, I was quite impressed. Shannyn did a great job.
Thank you.
She
Well,
deserves the accolades.
I'm looking forward to hearing it in February.
Yes.
We're gonna get in touch with you.
Okay.
And it'll take you about a half an hour of your time. You don't have to stay for the whole program, but we want you to be part of that program.
Okay. Thank you.
All right? So, Shannyn, I want to thank you for taking the time on the show.
Thank you.
I really wish you well in the rest of your junior year in high school and your upcoming senior year. And Mr.
Thank you.
Muroski, thank you for your leadership and your ability
you.
to teach
You're welcome, sir.
young
Thank you.
people in our city.
Thank
you
you
for
for
inviting
having
us.
me.
Please stay with us after these messages. We're back with more of Our City.
We're an American original. Dependable, historic, nuanced, with all the comforts of home, even when you're just visiting. So we're celebrating for all that we've left untouched and all that we've changed. A place where the past meets the future. So consider this your invitation.
We've been celebrating here in Elizabeth for 350 years, and we're just getting started. Welcome back to our city. For the second half of the show, I'm pleased to be joined by Miss Corey Wu-Jung, the YMCA Shaping Elizabeth, Miss Roselena Twyne from Trinitas Regional Medical Center, and Mr. Robert Barbanell from the Elizabeth Public Library. Welcome all.
Welcome.
It's good to see all of you. So Corey, you're first. You were on the show before.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a registered dietitian and I work with Shaping Elizabeth. So I talk about healthy eating throughout the city of Elizabeth.
How many people listen though, right? To healthy eating, right? I mean, you know, I try. It gets hard though, doesn't it?
It's a challenge,
It
but we
is.
talk about small steps.
Yeah, there you go. Good
Right.
answer. And Roselena, Trinitas Regional, what's your role over there? How do you wind up here?
I'm a clinical services specialist, so I deal with a lot of the community when it comes to educating them about how to take care of themselves, such as Corey. So it's pushing really hard on how to live a better life in different ways.
And once again, do people listen?
It's hard. I mean, they try, we try. Sometimes there is a change where after the events or the programs are done, they go up to the doctor and there is a relationship between the doctor and the community after that.
Okay. Robert, Public Library.
Yes, I have the pleasure and the honor of being the supervisor of the 3 branch libraries within the city of Elizabeth. So that would include the Elmora branch, LaCourte branch, and the Elizabethport branch for about 7.5 years now.
But you're not teaching anybody healthy eating tips, are you?
No, although it's being on this coalition now, we'll get to impart information to the public.
So you're part of this effort.
Oh, yes.
So what is Shaping Elizabeth from your perspective?
Well, Shaping Elizabeth is a team of community leaders, and our whole goal is to make Elizabeth a healthier place to live, work, and learn. And we do that through policy and environmental changes, and we focus on health, physical activity, and nutrition to help close the health equity gap.
Roselena, how do you fill it in at Trinitas?
Well, we connect the doctors that are within the area and the community because sometimes there's resources and people don't know exactly where to go or how to go about getting what they need. So I'm more so the middleman that brings 2 people together that really need one another.
So do you get referrals, Roselena? How do they wind up in your office?
Well, so every month we hold at least 2 events. Sometimes if we hold one, it'll be a large one to reach a large scale of Elizabeth or the surrounding cities. And within that event, there are so many connections that are made with the different physicians. So they just have conversations, and from there, there's business cards that are exchanged, numbers that are given, and then they end up in the offices of the doctors and the nurses within Trinitas.
And Robert, your role would be educating the folks after this?
Yes, to impart the healthy eating, nutritional awareness through the books and media resources, but also online and database resources that the library has to offer to the public at large.
So Corey, Trinitas is one of the partners here with the YMCA. What other partners do you have with Shaping Elizabeth?
Well, we have a great leader with the City of Elizabeth through many departments throughout the city, such as the Health Department, the Housing Authority, our public schools, obviously Trinitas, the library, Jewish Family Services, Rutgers Cooperative Extension. Those are just some of the prevention links, but there's a full listing on our Facebook page, on our
So
Shaping
I went to the
Elizabeth
Y
Facebook
one
page.
time with the
Yes.
Shaping Elizabeth. I saw these women on these bicycles.
Yes.
Yeah, they were working hard.
Yes,
Do you get on those bicycles too?
sometimes.
Really? Wow.
But yeah, it gets your heart going.
It does. It
Yes,
does.
yes.
They had me on it for about 3 seconds. I'm a walker, but riding those bicycles. Is that what are they called? Fitness trainer centers, or I don't know.
It's
Bicycle- yeah. They're in the basement.
cycles.
They do
Yeah.
cycles. They're really fast. So you have an event coming up, a Better You, a preview of Healthier 2018. What is this exactly, and what are your individual roles You want to start with this?
Yes.
Roselena?
So the event is going to be a pretty good event for Elizabeth. It is going to be a health forum where it's open for whoever wants to come, and it shows that here are the different organizations, and here's how we can help you, and we also want to know how exactly can we assist you with what exactly you need. So it's really a conversation, as well as us giving information on the organizations and the different facets that we have. So it's supposed to be fun and interactive, and there's going to be giveaways and refreshments and things like that.
So when is it and where is it?
So the next one that we're going to do, one just passed, which was within this month, January, but March is going to be our upcoming one. On Shaping Elizabeth's Facebook, we'll have the upcoming date. We're currently in the mix of making that one up, and it'll also be on Eventbrite. So by just searching the name, it'll come up.
So the one in January, was it well attended?
Yes, absolutely.
And what do people think? I mean, what's their feedback? Do you know?
Well, it's just the fact that they're thankful to have these different people come together on a Saturday when they're more available. And it's so many of us that can come together to fit their schedule.
You like working on Saturdays?
It's different, but if it's able to help the community, we're all for it.
Right.
great.
We want to bring the programming to the people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's terrific. I mean, I stopped by some. I just find it interesting that from the time I became the mayor, now we're talking about healthy Shaping Elizabeth. We're talking about tourism.
Yes.
I mean, we've really moved the city in a totally different direction where we can spend time talking about healthy items.
Right,
And
we
the
have to.
education, Robert. People come to the library to log on and look up this information as well.
Oh yes, they do. They do their share of Google searches, but we also try to teach and impart to them some of the databases that we have, where they could also access the information online, and our suite of medical books in that particular section that they could take out, and supplemental exercise and different nutritional DVD videos as well.
And Corey, why is a program like this important for Elizabeth? Not only Elizabeth, but even other cities. Do other cities do it? Do you know with the Y?
With the Y? I'm not really
Have you
sure.
heard about it elsewhere? Or?
I think, you know...
Good, I'm glad it's only us.
Yes, because I
That's
think
better yet.
we have a great, great cooperation with all the different organizations throughout the city, and really working together. And we all have a vested interest in making the community a healthier place. So I think that's really unique to Elizabeth.
So Roselena, what does the community get away from this event? How do you get feedback from this, and what do you think they take from it, the community as a whole?
So we have evaluations at all types of events that we have, so we can understand, how do we help you, did we help you, and if we haven't, how exactly can we help you the next time. So within that evaluation, we collect so much information, we put it within a chart in order for us to visually see the different ways that we can assist if we haven't, and if we have, how can we continue to do better.
Do you do that with an individual, or you do that as a group? Does individual A say, I did this, or do you...
Yes.
You do?
So we all come together, then we look at those evaluations, and we just figure out what exactly can we do better.
And how has it changed? And how have the evaluations helped you change the program for the better?
Because, well, the feedback we get really helps us to shape our next programming. So for March, we're still evaluating some of our data that we just collected in January, and that's why we really want to focus our March program on what people are really interested. You know, I don't want to just make up a program or say just on nutrition what I'm interested in. It's not going to have that same impact. So we want to make the information usable to the citizens, and really get them to hear what they want to hear.
Oh, good. So what are the activities that are planned at these events?
There's some physical activities.
Oh, how physical? Go ahead.
Because there's different organizations,
You
we
can't
have
go
an
and
option.
eat crimpets, can you?
Yeah, no. We try to be creative because we are in a closed space. We don't have the luxury to go outside yet due to the weather. But there's some floor activities where we're able to use the chair and move around a little bit. Yoga implementations. There's different things that we're doing to just make it easier to do at home, instead of people feeling the pressure to have to go to a gym if they don't feel like it, or having to go to a park, or to utilize a park if they want to.
So the indoor events are different planning than the outdoor events. I mean,
Yes.
because of space. And the other just the two of you are involved with the library? Are there other organizations involved in the March event? What other organizations? The ones you mentioned earlier?
Jewish Family Services
Yes.
is there, the hospital, the library, the Mental Health Association.
And City of Elizabeth Health.
Oh yes, of course. I'm sorry. Of
department.
course, the most important. Yes.
Where do you get together? Where are all the meetings held?
The library.
At the library? So you host the meetings, Robert?
We've been hosting the meetings at the auditorium
In the main branch?
in the main building.
Okay.
I
And
think
then from the library's perspective, how are the meetings going?
I think they're very productive. We started planning back in November, I want to say, and we met maybe every other week so far to go over.
And how many of these will you do during the course of a year?
So we're trying to go all throughout the year and every other month if possible, just to see the feel of it within the March, to see is this really what's needed and how often is it needed. So March is really going to be the here we are and what exactly can we go from, where can we go from here. So that's going to be the running start.
Do we know where the March event is going to be held?
It's going to be within the library.
The March event will be held in the library?
Yes.
Okay. And we don't have a date and time, but it's going to be in March?
Yes, it is.
So do residents have to register for the program?
Yes, they do.
Okay, tell us how.
So you can easily go on to Eventbrite. You can just search the event's name. You can look up a Better You, which is easy to do, or just call the number 908-994-5836.
Okay, and all of you, share some tips for 2018. What would you tell people to live a healthier life? We'll start with you, Corey, before we close. Give us a few quick tips.
Okay. So we always say to move a little bit more, and if you're not up to doing the cycling classes, just walking. Walking is a great activity. In this, in the cold weather, it's hard to walk outside. But right at City Hall, we have some of the employees are taking the steps. They go up one flight, walk across the hall, and then go up another flight, and then across, and then so forth, and then come down that way, just to add some extra
So
steps.
that's what those
during
people are doing in the hallway.
Yes.
I'm glad you told me that. Glad you told me that. They can go to the mall and walk the mall. Right?
They can walk the
Now
mall
I know what
also.
they're doing.
Yes, so on the break time, they can just
your
do that.
turn. What do you think, Lorena, your tips would be?
So at Trinitas, we're doing a big event for cardiovascular health, and it's called Paint the Town Red, Go Red for Women, and it's just showing how to do better for your heart and how to avoid strokes, and it's going to be held at Lord & Taylor's within Westfield, so it's going to be very fun.
So they can shop when
Yes, they can shop, and it's close to Valentine's Day, which makes it easier.
They can buy their sweetheart something,
Absolutely.
too. Look at this.
Anything that you want to do.
They're in red already. So.
Yeah, we're in the mall. We have access to everything. You'll be learning as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Healthy tip.
I will echo Corey with saying, get out there and walk, and that's okay to have that sweet, that sugary item every once in a while, but balance it with some fruits and vegetables as well.
I want to thank the three of you for taking the time to join me on the show this evening. I look forward to seeing you in Shaping Elizabeth in March, and I wish all of you and your families a very healthy new year.
Thank
you for joining us.
too.
I want to thank Ms. Shannyn Belser and Cashmir Muroski, who were on the first segment of the show, and also Ms. Corey Wu-Jung, Ms. Roselena Twyne, and Mr. Robert Barbanell on the second half of the show. And I hope all of you enjoy the rest of January, and welcome back next week to another edition of Our City.
We're creating tomorrow's jobs today. Kane University.